So it is that time again. We will be working on the RB26, actually doing some work. It's been a very long time. I've already started this today's project. We are officially converting the all-wheel drive oil pan into a rear-wheel drive oil pan. As you can see, I've already cut off the big bell housing here that was here for the front differential, and we just cut it straight off. But I still need to clean it up a bit. As you can see, this sticks out quite a bit, and it's not flush how I want it to be. I want it to be more cut straight down so I can either weld a plate over that or just have it be as small as possible. Additionally, stuff like this, just little bits that stick up that I want to clean up a bit. And as you can see through the process, this got all filled with aluminum shavings. So we're going to be taking everything out of the oil pan, all the baffles and everything, cleaning it all out and making it all shiny and new, so it can be ready to put back on the RB26, hopefully within the next week. So let's get started on that. I did most of the harder legwork earlier. Wasn't really super exciting. It was just actually, it took me like 3 hours to get through this because I was just using a grinding wheel and a Sawzall. I would have loved to have something a bit more precise, a little better, but this worked. This actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. So yeah, let's get to work. Now I have to be really careful with this surface here, this little notch. I'll turn this around so you can see it better. With that little notch there, because of how close it is to the mating surface of the oil pan and the engine block, I don't want to mess this up at all, this surface, so I got to be really careful here. There is some leeway on the side that's a little hard to see. There's a little bit of room just in case, but for the most part, we don't want this surface to get scratched at all. That was dumb. Tried to grab that piece of metal too soon and I actually burned my glove. Actually, I don't know how well you can see that. But it cut almost right through it. I think that's pretty good. I might take a file to the little extra we have here without getting into the actual mating surface. But that's pretty clean on that side. I don't know if I'll try to cut it any closer. I think that would just be a hazard I don't really want to try to deal with. So next is getting, let's see. Yeah, that's nice. That's pretty good. So next is dealing with this, all this stuff. I didn't notice that last time. Look at all of that aluminum shavings. It's all caught on the oil that's still on the underside. That's part of the cleaning process I'm going to do later, is getting all that grease and stuff off there. So I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people saying I'm doing this wrong, that I'm actually hurting the oil pan. But for right now, this is the only method I have for doing this. And it's that or trying to fix the other oil pan I have, and I think this is just a better option. I've talked about this in previous videos, that the reasons why I'm doing this. So I think this will turn out best for me. So next, I've already marked out the line. I'm going to be cutting along that line. I think the worst part is when your hands go numb from the vibrations. But look at all that. I could make a whole new oil pan with the amount of aluminum that's coming off of this one. So I'm actually making pretty good time in this. I'm already about here. So, you know, a little less than halfway through. It's going to start to get harder here, where the aluminum is a lot thicker. As you can see here, it's pretty thin, but here it gets a lot thicker. Then cutting through pretty much, you know, thicker aluminum. It's going to take a while. I'll probably have to get some new blades, which means I'll have to go out and get those, because I think this one is about to go, like, it's about to be just kind of not effective anymore. But really, it's going pretty quickly. I left the oil pickup soaking for a little bit in the degreaser and brake cleaner, and then I wiped it down. It's actually looking really nice now. That's super clean. I don't think this thing has been this clean since it was originally put in the engine. So I'm gonna go get some new blades and then probably get dinner while I'm out. So I'll come back to this in a little bit. And once I get those new blades, it should go pretty quickly. What I'm probably gonna do is, instead of releasing this as one video of just me working on this, we're gonna wait until it actually can go on the engine. So putting it back on the engine will be part of the episode, but in the next week, that oil pan should be on this engine and we'll be back in business. And once that's done, I think I'll make an episode of just putting the engine in the car, even though it won't be running, even though we won't be hooking anything up, just putting it in the car, because I think that would be fun. I think it would be a cool look and kind of a good motivational kick for getting the project up and going again. So I stopped off yesterday cleaning these. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner than it was. Had to get all of that aluminum stuff, all the aluminum dust off there. I would say for anybody trying to do this at home, take out the baffle plates before you do any of the cutting, because there's 2 layers in here and you can't separate them because they're welded together, and in there is where the rest of the aluminum shavings are, and it's gonna be very hard to get those out. I'm probably just gonna take like a pressure washer or like a hose and just try to spray it out. But all of those small nooks and crannies, I have to try to get as much of it out as I can. So if you're trying to do this on your own, take out the baffle plates before you do any cutting. That way it doesn't get all in there, or try to cover it up as much as you can if you don't feel like taking out the baffle plates. Thinking back on it, I meant to do that. I meant to take out the baffle plates. I even thought about it and I just forgot because I just jumped straight into cutting into the oil pan. So yeah, just a little warning for any of you trying to do the same thing. Now we are going to move on to the actual oil pan itself. As you can see, it's just filled with aluminum shavings everywhere. So we're gonna try to clean this out the best I can. So what I'm probably gonna do is just get some of the brake cleaner and degreaser and stuff in here, and start wiping it down with paper towels and stuff. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna deal with all that stuff, but we'll figure it out. Additionally, just because it is a lot of just cleaning and wiping stuff down, I'm probably just gonna skip over this and not show too much of it. So we'll try to do one of those cool snap transitions to when it's cool and clean. All right, just got finished cleaning it, and I even installed the little baffle plates back in there. It's looking really, really good. Last thing I need to do is clean up the mating surface, get all this old RTV out of here. But other than that, I think we're looking really, really good. This turned out exactly how I wanted it to. It's looking great in there. It took a lot of time, especially with these smaller sections that kind of stick out into the side. It was really hard to get in there and clean it out properly. But after I got most of the oil out and stuff like that, I just blasted it with a hose, a high pressure hose, to get every nook and cranny. So next is just to clean out all that old RTV. It's gonna be a while because it takes a lot of scraping with like a razor and the pick tools and stuff like that. But other than that, we're pretty much set. So I think the next update will be actually putting the oil pan back on the engine. All right, I have cleaned up the oil pan. I even took some time to work on all of these, all my nuts and bolts that are gonna be bolting the oil pan onto the engine. So we should be good to go. All I have left is to put the RTV on and then place the oil pan on and bolt it all down. I'm very excited for this. My engine has been upside down without an oil pan for way too long now. And once this gets flipped over, I have a bunch of other things I'm gonna be doing to it. They're just, small things, but still just progress. And progress right now is my main focus, just in any capacity, just to start getting this thing done. I know this won't be perfect, but this is my first time using RTV.
I'm gonna let you do the guiding, and I'm just gonna keep it straight for you.
Down.
Seated. Yep. I'm seated all the way around on my side.
Alright, let's grab some of these screws. Alright, so we put the oil pan on and we've hand tightened everything. We've got a nice little bead sticking out a little bit. which is perfect. We don't want too much. So now we're just gonna let it sit for a little bit, let it cure a little bit before we torque everything down. Luckily, I found a forum online that has the torque specs for every single bolt on this engine. I believe the forum is from GoodeZilla. I'll link his channel down below, so if you can check him out. So after a long time, we finally have the engine back upright. Oil pan's on. It's been curing for about an hour now, so I torqued everything down and we flipped it back up. So I think that's gonna be it for right now. I'm just kind of looking at this because I haven't seen it like this in a while. I haven't seen the blue up in the light in a very long time. So I'm kind of just enjoying it for what it is right now. I will, however, be putting a little piece on that I've been waiting to put on for a while. I know this isn't a very necessary piece, but I'm super happy to finally put this on. So I'm going to bring you over here so we can get up nice and personal while I do this. All right. So off with the old oil cap. Let's get this new one on there. This is billet aluminum. And that'll just make things look just that much better on here. Super clean. With the rest of the extremely cool blue RB26. So thanks for watching. This was a huge step for the RB26 build. I'm not really sure what the next step is. I'll figure it out soon. This was kind of the biggest thing on my agenda at the moment. We'll probably get the motor mounts on and then put the turbo on. There's a big missing turbo right here. So I'll probably get that on, and then once that's done, we might try to fit it in the engine bay, see what that looks like. Other than that, I think I'm going to be done for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.